So welcome to this episode of Man Talk Real Talk, where we have a special guest with us today. I met this young man at an event at Sky. He was presenting his business. At the end of the event, we had a conversation, and the conversation was crazy. It was crazy. It was as if he was speaking Man Talk Real Talk there and then. In fact, if I had a mic, I would have just recorded it and then put it on the platform. He's actually redefining what it means to celebrate cake. He runs a business that is founded with his wife. Almost said something different there, but that wouldn't have gone down too well with you, would it, brother?
Definitely my wife, bro.
We're gonna have some fun tonight, man. I'm telling you, man. With his wife, Crystal, where they blend artistry and flavor to create stunning wedding cakes and celebration cakes. His slogan, or one of them, as I've just found out, is "When cake meets art." He's a father of two. He's in his early 40s, so he's going through some transformational moments in his life right now. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome onto this platform Patrick Onyido. Welcome to the platform, Patrick.
Thank you so much, Des. I appreciate you for having me on here, my brother. Firstly, you said my second name correctly. The amount of people that butcher my last name is just crazy, but it's such a simple name. If you just read it, and you can get it right, you know? Like, I remember, I digress here a little bit. I remember I had a talk in Tottenham Library with Black business owners as well. This is years ago. And the host asked my name 5 times. And I told her I had to say it 5 times. And she said it. And when it came to the moment, she just destroyed it. And I said, hold on a minute. What was the whole point of me asking you, like telling you 5 times how to say my name? And you just get it totally wrong. Yeah. But I let her off because the pressure was on. But yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you again for having me on this platform, man. But yeah, I'm ready to go, my bro.
Yes, brother. So listen, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the listening audience about yourself? I want you to tell people who you are, what drives you, why you're so successful. You've got a cafe in Northwest London called Paddy Cakes.
Correct, yes. Correct, yeah.
That is doing very well. And remember, at Sky, you sold out with all of your cakes, and they want you back, right?
Dude, I've actually sent some emails, funny enough, today to the directors of the diversity and inclusion, the guy that led it, who's supporting the BEO, which is the course I was on, which is Black Equity Organization, helping Black businesses to get funding and also to expose you to supply chains such as Sky and others. So that was incredible. What can I say about myself? I'm a passionate, hungry, driven individual. I've been like this since I was a kid, you know. Growing up, I was last of 5 children, as I mentioned earlier. And what that made me do is watch people as I was growing up to see what triggered them, to see what made them happy, to see what made them angry, to see what made them really push themselves. If it's adversity, you know, how do you get yourself out of that situation you're in? And I saw that growing up a lot with my parents, siblings. So what did I do for me? I absorbed it. You know, as a child, I'm looking at my son now. Everything I say, he repeats because he's just taking it all in. That's how I was as a kid, you know. So I've just been this way since I was a little boy. Fast forward, left Nigeria, came to the UK. 2 things happened. I was either going to go down the dodgy route because it's a different mentality in the UK compared to Africa. There's not as much drive as I found growing up because in school over there, it's a different level of education back in Nigeria. Coming to the UK, I felt dumbed down. And two things, like I said, could have happened. I could have gone down the wrong route, but there was this teacher, rest his soul, who's passed away now, Caribbean teacher called Decent Henry, who was a Pan-Africanist who believed in Saturday schools for African and Black children in the UK. Now, this guy, I grew up in Tottenham, the likes of Reg 32, famous artist, we all know about him in the UK. We all went to school together in Tottenham, Northumberland Park. But Decent Henry has influenced so much of us that everyone can pay homage to him. You know, I visited the Saturday school and that kept me in line and in check to say, okay, I'm a Black kid in a foreign country and I can see my peers not doing what I was doing when I was growing up. But visiting the Saturday school has given me that drive again and focus to stay on track. That was my schooling. I'm growing up in school, so I've done everything. You know, I went to university, college, university, got 2-1 degree in computer science, which is what I enjoyed doing, because I did have an idea to be a chef when I was younger, because I've always been to food, because my mom had a restaurant in Nigeria. But the typical African mentality. You need to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, So
Of
when I
course.
mentioned when I
Yeah.
was a kid, you know what I mean? That pressure was on. My dad was an engineer.
Mm.
My god sisters in higher education doing a lot of big things, and cousins, lawyers and doctors. And I said to my mom, I want to be a chef. They laughed it off like, are you actually crazy? Like, you need to go to school, get your education, blah, blah, So
Mm.
that was it for me. So I said, all right, cool, that's fine. I enjoy computer science. So I did all of that, got my degree, and I was like, cool, here you go. But then, I had to start navigating through life. Where do I want to be? What do I want to do? But what I always enjoyed was selling as well, because every day is a negotiation for me. Every day. Whether you're a salesperson, you're a lawyer. If you're a lawyer and you're trying to get people off their charge, and your success rate is 30%, you're not selling very well. Do you know what I mean? So people are going to come to
Mm.
you. But let's say
Yeah.
your success rate is 85, 95%. You're more likely to get the clients to say, okay, cool, I'm going to pay you the money to represent me. So every day you're negotiating yourself to people. And I realized that earlier on in life, every day we're selling ourselves. Whether you're going for a job application, you're selling your skill sets to the employer, vice versa. If you're an employer, why should I work for you? It's a negotiation. Do you have integrity? Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So I realized that earlier on in life, and that's how I navigate through life. It's just like, I need to negotiate with people, and it's going to take me far, So yeah, full circle. I'm 41 now. I started my cake business in 2014 with my wife, visiting New York, and we had real cheesecake for the first time, which I had cheesecake in England, but it wasn't the same thing. It was not the same
Yeah, I
level.
know.
So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So I'm like, why can't I get the same experience in England? So we started Paddy Cakes off the back of our trip to New York. I just literally baking. I've been baking since I was a kid as well, but I just started practicing and messing up and getting things wrong and throwing away recipes, ingredients, till I hit the nail on the head. And that's now evolved into what we're doing now. So yeah.
As a man,
Yeah.
two things that you spoke about. Number one, the
Mm.
influence of your teacher. Okay. And then the other thing is as a man, was there a stigma that's attached to you becoming a baker in that way?
100%.
First question then. In regards to your teacher, what impact did that teacher have on you as a youngster?
Decent had an incredible impact on me, because he recalibrated me. Because, like I said, you're lost as a kid. Like, my dad wasn't around, so I didn't have a father figure. It's just like my mom,
Right.
single parent family. All my uncles are in Nigeria, so there's no adult that's here in the UK. My brother's only 2 years older than me, so we're growing up together in the midst of it all. So I didn't have no father figure to say, you know what, Patrick, you are a brilliant young man. Because my like I said, I was on a different level of education when I came to the UK. It just slowed me down. I wasn't as fast, and because we put there's pressure in Nigeria to be the best. It was like, you need to be number one in the class, all that kind of stuff. In the UK, there's no such thing. It was like, yeah, do it or you don't do it. Nobody cares type thing.
Yeah,
Decent
absolutely.
sort
Yeah.
of, so Decent sort of just said, you know what, you can see how smart I was. And it says, come to the Saturday school, because he was a teacher in my secondary school. That's how I met him. He was the English teacher in my secondary school, but outside of it, he had a Saturday school. So that's how all that transpired. So we're like, yeah. My mom said, yeah, let's do it. Put me in the Saturday school. So it was brilliant. So he just basically reconfirmed, you're black in the UK, yes. It's going to be, you're going to have struggles, but don't let anyone tell you can't do anything. You can't do what you want. He always said that. Be the best at what you're doing.
Right.
Be humble. Stay focused. Stay strong, and you can achieve great things. So he reinstated that for me, without a doubt.
It's a real crucial point that you've made there, because, and I don't want to say anything that's out of line with some teachers, because I don't want to generalize, but the importance of somebody, an outside influence in your life, especially in your formative years, is so crucial. And somebody like a teacher, where you're around, pretty much, 5 hours a day, their input is so important, because some teachers, and I've heard many stories of like this, where the teacher has said to them that you're not going to amount to anything at all. You know, so the fact that you've had a positive role model in your life, and as well as that, you've had male positive role model who's had an influence on you and has helped you to further yourself is very, very, very key point. So
absolutely.
For yourself then, how have you used those lessons that he's taught you to further yourself in life?
I'll just say true to it, man. I've always had my own mindset, and I haven't been influenced by my peers. Growing up in North London, people look at me, I'm a 6'4" black guy, play semi-pro basketball. I've never smoked weed in my life. I've never been drunk in my life. He was like, how have you managed to do that? I said, because I've just never followed the crowd. I've had loads of my brethren smoking weed. I've been to parties, but that's their thing. It's not mine. So I don't have to do what they do to feel included. I am included. I'm the biggest guy in the room. Do you know what I mean? You can't forget me. You know, so I've never been that kid to be like,
I've met you.
Yeah, do you know where I'm coming from? Yeah, bro. Like, I'm small now. Back in the day, when I was in my early 20s, I've been in the gym all my life. I was 20 stone at one point, like pure muscle, bro. This is my smallest state. I was huge, you know, but that's because I was always in the gym. I was just naturally training. So I've always been my own man, if that makes sense, because I've been the biggest guy. So I've never been influenced by people, you know, in a negative way. You know, so it's all about positivity for me. And I'm always seeing the best. Always the worst situation. I'll tell you a story. In 2006, I went to prison. All right? Yeah. That's a span in the works right here. My journey of navigating through life, my final year of university, I was thrown into jail in Wandsworth prison of all places. I was 20 years old at the time. I turned 21 in there because I was there from January up until December, right? On remand. Because even though I had my own mindset, even though I was navigating through, like, living in Tottenham with the madness that, you know, I don't know where you're from, but part of London, but Tottenham, growing up in Tottenham back in the day was crazy. You know, there's still gang wars and everything with Tottenham and Hackney. I was in the midst of all of that in my early years, you know, but I never got involved in anything like that because, again, it was boring for me. I enjoyed playing basketball. What they were doing made no sense. People used to ask me, bro, when I'm walking on the street, what ends are you from? What ends are you from? I'm like, I'm from Nigeria. I sleep in Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? I'm not from this country, bruv. Yeah, I'm not involved with any like post-world wars. This is you lot's thing. I don't understand it. I'm not from it. I sleep here, but I'm not from here. Because I was born in Nigeria. I'm not from England. I'm dual nationality. So I never claimed England. I never claimed any sort of territory, but I lived in it. Right. So a friend of mine I used to go to college with, I knew what he did on the side, what he did for a living. He was a fraudster. He used to do a lot of fraud with his peers, but that wasn't my thing. Our relationship was literally PlayStation, you know, and going out to clubs. He had a nice gold BMW. He'll pick me up. We'll go clubbing. That was our thing. Nothing. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, right? But we don't all have that. Nobody has that. You never know what the future holds. But I do believe in one thing. Your path has been created for you already. You walk through it, you live it, and you breathe it. Okay? I went out with my friend. So I was with another friend of mine. And he called me up and he said he's got the latest PlayStation football game. I know where you are. I'll come pick you up. I said, no problem. He picked me up, went to his house, beat him as usual on the game. No drama. But whilst I was there, you know, that was our thing. He always wanted to beat me, but I was always better. Whilst I was at his place, he gets a phone call and it turns out to be his girlfriend's uncle. And he's asked him to go pick up some money from a guy that they've done a deal with, which none of my business. I don't care about that. That's she lost thing. So he said, Pat, I'll drop you on the way home. I said, no problem. Picked up some guy. Things went left because the guy didn't want to give him the money. And he said, I need to pick up another friend of mine. I said, do me a favor, drop me back in Hackney and I'll make my way home. He did that. I went home, jumped on the bus, forgot about it. But something very, very important happened. As soon as we picked up the victim, he was also a dodgy guy anyway. I wouldn't call him a victim, but as soon as we picked him up, a few yards down the road, we get stopped by the police, all right? 2 officers, 1 female, 1 male. The female officer comes to my side. It's an Audi car, so a 3-door Audi A3. The female comes to my side. I opened the door, both feet on the pavement, 2 mobile phones in my hand because I used to work for Orange Mobile at the time. So I had two phones, right? The victim sitting behind me and my friend is talking to the male officer. So she takes all our details down, takes his details, pops her head inside, takes the guy behind me, his details. And I asked the question, why did you stop the car? She said, oh, you had no headlights on. I said, no problem. We drive off. Now, that's when I go to Hackney, and then these guys drive off wherever they went to. He calls me later on that week and says, my friend does, goes, oh, Pat, have the police been to your house? I said, why would the police come to my house, bro? He goes, oh, because they've been to my mom's house. I said, well, what happened? He goes, oh, I took this guy to Brixton. I said, my words were, bro, that's kidnap. I go, nah, what's he going to do? Call the police, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't know. He picked up another friend of his, right? Took this guy to Hackney because their plan was to go to the Bureau of the Change on the Monday to get the money out there transferred to his account so they could split it. That was the bank transfers, right? That was their fraudulent game.
Yep.
So that's what they wanted to do. But what he didn't know was his friend that in Brixton kept the guy to call his family, demanding money, and they barely spoke English. So they called the police, and Scotland Yard of all people, yeah, got involved in this whole thing. I promise you, bruv. This thing became something so minor, became something so big, they called it Operation Fronten. I remember this case vividly. I lived it for a year, bro. After he said, have the police been to my house? I said, whatever you do, I said, that's kidnap. Because whatever, I'm going to go to the police station anyway. I said, when you do that, do not bring my name involved in this. Don't talk about me because I told you what would happen. Cool. A couple of days later, upstairs doing my coursework. Like I said, the final year of university. I was in Middlesex Uni. A couple of days later, I hear a knock on my door, look outside the windows, 3 white guys. Straight away, I knew what time it was. Why 3 white men outside in Tottenham? So I knew who they were. They come into my house. Are you Patrick? I said, yep. Boom, boom. They come into my house. I don't know what they were looking for. I said, do you mind coming to Ilford Police Station? I said, sure, no problems. Fast forward, we got to Ilford Police Station. Everything went crazy. They're saying, oh, the victim said I had a gun. I'm like, what? What are you guys talking about? I had a gun. This is when I was like, are you serious? Yeah, I had a gun. I said, is that what you were searching for when you came to my house? That's crazy because if you believed I had a gun, you guys stayed downstairs, right? It's a 3-floor house we live in Tottenham. You stayed downstairs. I said, I'm going to be back in a second. Let me just tell my mum I'm going to my friend's house down the road. Because my mum, she's a panicker. She panics about everything, especially her kids. So if I said to my mum, by the way, police are downstairs, she would have lost her mind. So I said to her, Mum, listen, because she was half asleep as well. I said, let me just pop over to Tim's house. That's my friend, 2 doors down the road. I'll be back soon. Bro, I was gone for the whole year on remand. So I never saw a day.
Oh my gosh.
Literally on remand because, they said I kidnapped the guy. I was part of the whole thing, a gang of 8 people. I said, what are you guys talking about? Police that stopped the car that day. Remember the vital thing for me? They said Mr. Onido had 2 mobile phones in his hand because we saw it while we were talking to him. But the victim said I had a gun tucked in my armpit, pointing at his face. That's why he didn't say he was kidnapped. All lies. All lies. So, bro.
Wow.
Long story short, I spent from January till December. My prison number was NX9110. I'm 41 years old. I will never forget that. That's in my brain forever. I was in jail. I turned 21 in there. And then I'm on the 16th of December, 2006. I got not guilty, and my friend and these people, they got 8 years, and I went home. As crazy as that sounds, that's a true story. Yeah. So I've lived a lot.
That is absolutely crazy. So let me ask you a question then. What was your feelings when you were you said ones of prison, right?
Yeah. Big prison.
Yeah. What was your feelings while you was in there? Was it feelings of I'm the victim, or some people say I'm gonna use this as a stepping stone to propel me forward and learn what I need to learn in here. So when I come out,
100%,
I'm gonna be a different man.
Without a doubt. I had drive before, but even more so when I came out. Like when I was in there was no time to cry. There was no time to start being around the bush. As soon as I got in there, I had a different mindset because I was happy-go-lucky Pat on the outside. Now I'm in prison with killers. I was not in flipping juvenile detention. I was in jail with rapists, with killers, with road guys. Bro, I remember I told you I was big. I was 20 stone then. So there was no issues. People were scared of me. But then when they started talking to me, they go, oh, this guy's calm, man. He's cool, bro. I had no issues. I promise you, like, one of the guys I met in there is one of my best friends now. He's a few years older than me. But them man, they were crazy when they were younger. They were from South. They were moving crazy, like armed like robberies and stuff like that. But he's changed his life around now. He's from Uganda. He's built an orphanage in Uganda. It was a good thing for him to go there. Right? One of my best guys, we talk all the time. He's having a baby at the moment. So he's asking me, how is it? You got a kid? What's life like? And that's two things that happened to me in there. I could have gone in there, been scared, been timid, but no, I could put my head up straight because I was innocent. I didn't do anything. But I can defend myself if anything happens, type thing, right? So I had no problems in there. So what that done for me going to prison was it showed me what I'm made of. I can handle anything, because once you're in a hole, because that's what I was, it's a hole. Don't get it twisted. Prison is horrible. I don't recommend it to anybody. I recommend you go to Celebrity Get Me Out of Here instead. Yeah, that kind of thing. Challenge yourself that way. Do that because that you can quit and go home. You can't quit prison and go home. If you're on remand or if you're convicted, you're there for the long haul, or you're there for as long as you are. Right. So you have to get your mind right. So it done two things. It made me very, very strong mentally, and it showed me, you know what? Anything can happen to you in life. It's just how you pick yourself up because I wasn't a black guy that had been ever stopped by the police before. I don't wear drop downs. I've never had issues with the police. We know what the police do to our people, but I had never encountered the police ever. So I can never speak bad on them from my personal experience. I can speak bad from what they do to people like that look like us, but I've never had no personal issues with the police before because I was never involved with any criminal activities. But everything happened to me all at once. I was picked up from my house to court, went to prison. Madness all at once. I was like, wow, is this real? It was real. But I found favor in there as well. Officers were on my side. I had my birthday at 21. One of the officers brought me a whole can of like Fanta fruit twists and cupcakes. Do you know what I mean? Even though I'm locked up, people still see my character. They go, this guy's cool, man. What do you need for your birthday? I said, whatever you want to bring me. And she brought me a whole fat Fanta fruit twist 6-pack, and I shared it with my friend that got me the problem in the first place because it wasn't in the same cells the whole time, in the same cell. So that just showed me. My mom used to send me Bible passages to read every night. And I made sure I read them every night to keep me motivated. So I always read my Bible, always prayed. And then there's prisoners in there. They used to say, Pat, what's your case? Like experienced prisoners, what's your case? And we used to do like face-to-face conversations. They'll be playing the role of the crime prosecution, and I'll be defending myself. I was literally going back and forth, getting ready for court. That's how I was in prison. Read books, read The Art of War. It just got me ready mentally, and I wasn't scared. I just like, cool, this is my story to tell people. This is my journey that I have to go on to show me what I'm made of. From then on, like my wife would tell you, that brought me full circle to the father I am today. My wife stresses out where I'm the calmest guy in the room. If the place is on fire, I'm the calmest guy because I'm like, there's a way out. There's always a way out. So that everything, all the experience I've had in my life has brought me here to say, there's no point to panic. Like before you start panicking, let's have a thought to think. Relax a minute. Let's see how we can get out of the situation. And that's how I've been since 2006.
I tell you, that is so inspirational because there was a guy that came on one of the podcasts called Doug Bennett, and he said his formula was, he says the event plus your reaction to it equals the outcome. So the event plus your reaction to it will give you the outcome. All right. So how you've responded to the event, okay, your reaction to it was, like you said, it's not, I say this is not what happens to you, it's how you react to it that matters the most.
That's right.
Know? And you used that situation as a way of, you mentioned that your father, because that's a question that I was going to ask you. You use that situation to help define you as a man right now, and most importantly, as a father. So you started off without a father figure, then you found a father figure in your teacher, then you had this experience at prison, okay, where you strengthened your mind, right, and then you're able to now use that with your children to be a father to your children in a way that probably you wouldn't have been if you hadn't gone through all of this stuff.
Exactly right. Absolutely. And I don't regret anything. People's like, do you regret or are you upset? I'm not upset because I'm here now. You know, I'm not upset about what happened to me when I went to prison. I was supposed to. People's like, what do you mean? I was supposed to go to jail. That was my story. It was predestined, pre-written. I wasn't supposed to spend the rest of my life in jail because I was innocent. But my story was, Patrick, you meant to go to jail, learn from this experience, make your circle smaller, because I have so many friends. I'm a guy that, I mean, so many people. Not everyone's your friend, you know? Associates, yes. And then your circle is tight. And then what when you're in prison, or in a hole, how do you know who your real people are? The people that come to see you when you're in that situation. Like my best friend Malcolm, we went to university together. He was there. He used to come and see me. Obviously, mom and my siblings used to come. I'm now godfather to both his kids. You know, that's how our relationships go back that many years. I was in a tight situation, and you need someone to come and just let you forget that for a minute. That was my guy, and it's still my guy till today. We just went to see him on Friday. I haven't seen them in months because of the business and whatnot. So that shows you who your people are, and also shows you who your people aren't. You know, not everyone claims to be a friend is your true friend. You know where I'm coming from. So I experienced that. Oh, it shows you who your people are, and shows you who your people aren't. Because you ever are my bridge, not everyone's for you, even though they might claim to be for you. Like I said, when you're really in the crux of it, who's really supporting you? That's who your true people are. No, I think everyone has to experience that, because we're too quick to say, oh, this is my best friend. How many best friends do you need? That's not real. And then a true friend is somebody that I feel that if I haven't spoken to you for months, we can pick up the phone and catch up straight after. It's like nothing's ever been.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a true friend. And there's no animosity, how can you call me in months type thing. And that's a true friend to me. So yeah, that was my experience in jail, man. But I had fun in there as well. People say, what do you mean I had fun? I had fun. I played basketball, went to the gym, I read books. Yeah, you just have to, freedom is a state of mind, right? Freedom is a state of mind. When you close your eyes, you can be wherever you want to be. Do you know where I'm coming from? You can be wherever you want to be when you close your eyes. Do you know where I'm coming from, bro? Like the human mind is so powerful. We underestimate how powerful it is, and we don't utilize it to the maximum. I know the famous things will use 10% of our brain, but if we can tap into the other percentage, like you can do so much. Like when I close my eyes, I'm wherever I want to be, and like I said, that's a state of mind. When you feel that way, you wake up. Yes, you're in a tight situation, but you know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, so like I said, freedom, state of mind. When you close your eyes, you can be as free as you want to be, man.
If anyone listening right now, those three words, it's like a wow moment. Freedom is a state of mind. Yeah. And you were incarcerated. Your body might have been, but your mind wasn't.
Mine wasn't. Yeah. Because that's what they want to do to you. Like lock you up, mentally screwed. Bro, when I tell you I haven't even gone deep into what I saw in there. The racism I dealt with one South African officer. I would never forget her face and her name. Just the vile environment, the food, the people that cook the food. But the nonces, if you know what nonce is, you know what nonce is? The pedophiles. They don't want, so pedophiles, like VPUs, they're called vulnerable prisoners because even though we're all criminals, they're different type of criminals. So they're kept away from general pop, which is us, like criminals, right? Because if they're around just like thieves and that, they're subject to get beaten up or, dare I say, even killed because of what they've done, of what their crime is. So they're kept separate from us. But they're the ones that cook the food that we eat. That makes no sense to me. Yeah, that made no sense to me. I was in there none the wiser. And then one officer said to me one day, because I'm my first time experiencing this, I'm getting food, and he goes, Patrick, why are you eating this food? I said, like, Gov, like, what are you talking about? What else am I supposed to eat? Because you know who cooks the food? I said, mate, this is my first time. I'm not in and out prisoner. This is all new to me. And he dropped that knowledge. He goes, mate, these are the people that cook the food. So when I heard that, I stopped eating the canteen. That's what canteen food. I kept ordering my own food. So I survived for the first month I was there, I was eating the food. After that, I was eating like tuna. Like there's this brand of tuna, John West. He has tuna and sweet corn in a can. And I was eating that with nourishment, peanuts, going to the gym. It's just pure protein and a little bit of carbohydrates. And I was just getting bigger and bigger, just eating that. And then I'm not Muslim, but when Ramadan came around, they had food cooked outside for the Muslim prisoners. And I was eating that food too, because I knew all the Muslim guys. So they're giving all the chicken that was cooked outside of the prison. And that's how I survived, bro. It was crazy, but you have to do what you have to do, man, when you're in that situation. Mental. Like, absolutely crazy, my
My
guy.
goodness. Wow, that's
So,
amazing, man.
yeah. Yeah, listen, I've lived through a lot. But it's made me the guy I am today. I've dealt through a lot, like with death. My mom and dad passed away. My mom had cancer when we were younger. We didn't know she was going to be here, but she's still here. She's 82 years old. Crazy. Still goes Zumba, still goes swimming. So I've dealt through adversity. And like I said, all this stuff builds character. It keeps making you stronger mentally, physically. And I can tell my kids so much in life. Like my boy, I can't wait for him he's so smart right now. It's scary how smart he is. I remember everything that's happened to him in life. And he's got a mind like me. He remembers everything. He never lets up. If you tell Genesis something, he repeats it till you're like, okay, cool, here you go. And weeks later, we haven't given it to him. He brings it back up again because he doesn't forget nothing. And I love that. So yeah, everything I've been through is, like I said, it's supposed to happen. Go ahead.
So fast forward that then to the formation years of Paddy Cakes, because I asked you a question earlier about, is there a stigma that's attached to
a black baker,
a male baker?
Male baker,
you know?
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about what made you want to form an organization like you have that's very successful. What's been driving you to kind of redefine, like you said, how cakes are kind of looked at in that way?
Typical stigma is, really? A baker, a black guy that's a baker? I'm like, yeah, I've had it even from my mum, even from your own family. It's like, is this a real thing? Are you serious about this? Do you know what I mean? So if my mum's saying it, forget everybody else, right? So when I started the whole Paddy Cakes thing, it was like, the goal wasn't to create a business or a company as we have now. I was just doing it for the love for food. I wanted cheesecake, and I made sure I got better than what I had in America. All right. But then my wife said to me, because like I said, I was working for a construction company called Hilti, selling tools, driving around central London, site to site. But I don't know. At one point, Crystal said to me, do you think you'll ever leave Hilti and start up your own business? Because I had never thought about it. And I was like, yeah, I would do, but what would I do? She goes, well, mate, you make the best cakes that I've eaten. Let's do cakes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's going to buy our cakes? Like, I just literally fobbed it off. But I promise you, a few weeks later, I was sleeping. And in my sleep, I had this dream. I don't know if I was in deep sleep, but I had a dream. I went to Peppers and Spice, which is an amazing Caribbean joint on Tottenham High Road. Not Peppers and Spice, Brown Eagles, sorry. Brown Eagles. Okay. And I know the ladies there very well, right? So I was getting my special chicken, curry goat, rice and peas. Cool. But in this dream, right? I don't know what happened. I just remember me going to Brown Eagle with a red velvet cake and giving it to the ladies, and they were giving it to customers coming in. And the reaction was mental. That's what I did. After that dream, that's exactly what I done. Yeah? I made a red velvet cake, I went to Brown Eagle, and what I had deja vu type thing, what I had dreamt about, I literally made come true. I went to Peppers and Brown Eagle, sat there, they cut slices, gave to customers coming in, and everyone was going crazy. Bro, where'd you get this from? Oh, that's the guy right there. From the back of that, people are like, do you make cakes? I'm like, yeah, it's taking numbers. And that's how Paddy Cakes started, bro. Mental. You can't make a...
See, this is interesting because earlier on you mentioned your path has already been created for you. And then you have a vision, like a dream, which is like a vision, a premonition of where you're supposed to go. And now you've formed Paddy Cakes because of a vision, a dream.
Yeah.
Mike.
It goes deeper. It goes deeper than this, bro. It goes deeper. That's the first part. Second part was, okay, what do we call the company? All right. Paddy Cakes came about because my name is Patrick. All right. I was given Patrick. My Nigerian name is Tochukwu, which means praise God. All right. I'm from the Igbo tribe. Okay. Now, my mom's good friend in Ireland, an Irish lady in Nigeria was married to a Nigerian guy. Okay. She worked for the British Embassy in Nigeria. They christened me Patrick through her because she's Irish, good friends with the family. I got the name Patrick. Fast forward, my mom wants to bring all the kids back to England. But remember what I said earlier on, I was born in Nigeria, not the UK. I didn't have a British passport. All my siblings were born in England. So my mum says to Auntie Margaret, like, she wants to move everyone to the UK, but Pat has got a passport. She goes, well, you guys are all British citizens. Within 24 hours, I had a British passport. Yeah. I come over to England, living my life, navigating through it. I play semi-pro basketball, right? I go to Cork in Ireland, and I remember the game. I'm dribbling the ball with mixed guys. It was the guys from London and the Irish guys. All the Irish guys kept saying, Paddy, pass the ball. But I didn't realize they were talking to me. Because I don't know, at this point, I know Patrick's known as Paddy's in Ireland. I'm 16 years old. So I didn't have a clue. So I'm still bouncing the ball. Then my coach gets mad. He goes, Pat, no, what? Pass the ball, bruv. They're asking for you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then, after the game, I'm now told Patrick's in Ireland are known as Paddy's. Cool. That's great. That's 16 years old. I started Paddy Cakes in 2015. This all made sense to me at this point now. So what do we call our company? I said to my wife, I just figured out Paddy Cakes. She goes, well, just like the nursery and Paddy Cake. I'm like, yeah, let's switch it to Paddy Cakes, Bakers, man. And that's what I sang.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you was at the BEO. Were you there when I came onto my pitch? Or did you come
I
after?
was there.
So you remember when I came on to Paddy Cakes,
Mm-hmm.
Bakers, man?
Yeah,
Bro, that's how we came full circle. That's how deep this game. Do you know what I mean? That's how deep this story was. You know, so I actually pinch myself, right? I want to actually think, because sometimes we don't put two and two together. We just feel like it's supposed to be. I'm like, nah, if you actually stop and take a breath and think, hold on, how has this become what it is? It's been a journey, and it was already started in 1984. Paddy Cake started in 1984, the year I was born. I didn't even realize it till now. That's the journey, bro. And that, when I stop and I think about it, I'm like, wow, it's been a journey, but I've enjoyed every bit of it. The difficult parts of it, it's part of it builds character. And I'm here now making the best cakes. Answer the second part of your question, why have we been so creative? Because I don't want to be like everybody else. I can do what everyone else is doing, but what's the point? What's the point? My wife is beautiful in terms of her mind when it comes to creativity. Like all the pictures everyone sees on Instagram is from Crystal. She's a creative artist. She's a fine artist by trade. That's what she studied at university. Where I'm the flavor guy. I'm all about flavor. How can I make things taste incredibly good? And she can make it look striking. Because two things, human beings, we eat with our eyes first. So if something looks great, it captures your attention. If it tastes even better, you're sold. And that was our goal. Leg cakes look beautiful, but then the follow-up will just smack you right in the face with the flavor. You're never going to forget it. That's what we're about. You know, so that's what Paddy Cakes is all about, man.
So how do you think then the stuff that you learned as a youngster and the influence of prison life, how do you think all of that, pulling it all together, meshing it all together, has had an impact on your business and your future of your business as well?
100%. It has the biggest impact, because one, business is not easy. Anyone that says to you is lying. Every journey, every day is a hard graft. You know, building a business, looking at the finances, is it sustainable? Is it here to stay long term? All of that has helped me. What I've lived through has helped me stay cool. When the times are tough, while we're not making any money, because at the start, when we started business, we were working from home. There was no overheads. It was brilliant. We were making tons of money, growing the business, social media only, and then people coming to our house. But we wanted to take the business away from our personal space. You know, so my wife suggested, well, let's look for a place where we can build from there. Cool. But it hasn't been easy. We've run the shop now for 3 years. It's in profit. It's never been in the red, which is incredible for a first time sort of, you know, people say within the first 3 years, you're negative, you're not making any money. Hasn't been that for us. We've been making money, but not enough to, like I said, for sustainability and to grow the business. That's the difficult part, you know, having the right staff, the people that are going to come to your company and help it grow. It's been tough. So yeah, sleepless nights. I do ungodly hours. People say, oh, you're making the best cakes. When I tell people the kind of hours I do, they're like, what do you mean you're the baker from 2 o'clock? We're here now till 9 o'clock. I'm leaving my house about 1 a.m. You're probably going to be sleeping by then. But 1 a.m., I'm leaving my house to go to the bakery. Do you know what I mean?
My goodness.
That's the kind of hours. Yeah. So it's a hard graft. A baker's life, I tell people, it's not an envious life. My food is incredible. You're all smiling when you're eating it, but I've been up for hours and to make it smile on your face. But that's the rewarding part for me. With all the madness I deal with, the lack of sleep, and obviously I've got 2 kids now, with the sleepless nights, but I love the feedback I get from my customers, and the feedback goes deep. People from the weddings, we play important roles in people's milestones in your wedding. We're making a wedding cake. Like, you're never gonna forget that. They take this serious. So for me, everything I've been through as a youngster growing up, fights coming from England, dealing with black people, racism as well. Like, oh, you're from Africa, you live in a mud hut. No, what are you talking about? The ignorance of some people. It's not their fault.
My gosh,
Yeah, bro. Like, growing up in Tottenham, like, loads of my Caribbean friends who didn't know, like Jamaican bridges, who are friends now, I used to beat them up anyway. That's why they realized you can't play around with Pat. Nah, I used to knock her to your head.
Easy, man, easy.
They assumed man came from a mud hut, bro. My mud hut. My dad was very, very rich. He had big old houses. He had bidets and all sorts in his house, bro. That's how I lived. We all came to England. I didn't want to come here, bro. I'll tell you this story. I came to England, and the first meal they gave me was fish and chips. That was the last time I ever had fish and chips. Think about that. That wasn't food for me. I'm like, you guys are taking a mick. I hated it. No flavor. Where's the food? I'm like, where's the food? This is not food. I've never done fish and chips since then. I'm 41 years old. I've done it once. I was 10 years old. I had fish and chips. I'm like, this is terrible. Take me back to Nigeria where a man's got fresh fruit. I've got soups. Like, this is not, it was cold. I've come from a tropical country. You're bringing me to the UK. I don't want to be here. Then I'm dealing with people who say you live in a mud hut. I was losing my mind, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I was losing my mind. But that's again, like I said, that was my story, and I've loved every bit of it. At the same time, when you look back on it, like I said, all the guys I used to beef with in school and fight them, they're all my good friends now, because they knew if there was a fight anyway, that he can defend me, because I was the strongest kid in school. So we're all good friends now. You know, so been to the weddings, everyone's really tight, because again, lack of education. No one knew what they were feeding people in the UK about Africa is we ain't got no money. We've got flies on our mouths. We've got no water. That's what was being fed. That's nonsense. Like, absolute nonsense. Yes, we have, so I mean, yes, we have struggling parts, but the struggling parts in Manchester, the struggling parts in London, Western Africa. So what we're talking about here is propaganda. So I had to deal with that and just recalibrate. We let people know, listen, there's more to Nigeria, there's more to West Africa, there's more to Africa as a continent than what you see in the UK, you know? So yeah, it's been a journey, man. But yeah.
That's incredible. You know, the thing about it, right, is that with everything that you're talking about on this podcast, on this session that we're in right now, you're kind of like going against the flow. Okay, because you're a black man, a baker, a successful baker. You know,
Thank you.
You've gone into prison, all right, and you've redefined your life as a result of that experience. So you didn't take it as a negative; you took it as a positive. You know, and it's made you the man that you are right now, and it's helped you to become a successful businessman that you are right now. Because I know you're being very understated, right? Because I've seen the effects of what your cakes have on people. It's like people go crazy, man, when they see your cakes, man. It's like, whoa, you know. But you've used every situation in your life to further yourself to become the successful man that you are. Me personally, I want to applaud you for that, because there's not many examples of men like that out there, like yourself, you know, and one so young as well, you know.
Thank you. I don't feel it, but yeah.
You know, but you know, sometimes we need to actually sit back and say, you know what, I've actually done something here and I'm happy about. You know, we don't want to remain in a place of constantly acknowledging ourselves in that way, in a boastful way. But you have to actually sit back and say, well, look, I've actually done something and I'm quite proud of what I've done, you know, and you've got something that your kids can look up to.
100%. And I would add to that as well. Funny you say that. There's a good friend of mine, from a guy from Gabon. He was local to my bakery. He's now moved over to Bushy. But he came in to the bakery on Saturday, not to get anything because he's on a diet. We trained together as well. We used to train together till he moved out of Tottenham Park. So he popped in the bakery and he said to me, he's turning 40 soon. He's got a wife and they've got a son who's about 2, coming up to 2 as well. So He said his kid was driving crazy. I needed his own time. He's turning 40. So he just said to the missus, he's taking 2 days away. He's gone to a hotel to reflect on what he's done this first part of his life, turning 40. Or he's journaling everything, like putting down on a journal. So what's his plan for the next 10 years? And that blew me away. I said, I've never done that before. I've never stopped to just write down what I've done, what I've achieved in my life. And I love the fact he said, bro, like, you should do that. Like, just do it. Like, tell the missus, I know you've got 2 kids now, but take time out for yourself just to stop, put down exactly what you just said. Everything I've been through, what I've achieved so far in this amount of time. And then what's the chapter? What's the next chapter? Now I've got 2 children. What's the next 10 years look like? Journal that down, put that down. And I was like, bro, that's stunning. And then you just basically reconfirmed we don't do that enough. And that means I need to do that. And to plan out some days,
brother.
sit down and just document my journey so far and the next tip. And so, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna ask you this. 2 questions. What would you say to your younger self, and your future self? What would your future self say to you now? That's a kind of a double-barreled question.
Yeah. In regards to, is it anything specific or just in general?
So in regards to in general. Someone asked me that question a while ago.
Yeah.
And I took a bit of time to reflect on the answer. And generally what we say to our younger self is it's like a message, a reassurance. But I don't want to frame it in that way because it's you. For me, it's like a reassurance.
Yeah. What would I say to my younger self? Because I did a lot of things in my younger years. What would I say to myself now? It's a deep question. It's a very deep question.
Very deep. Very deep.
Yeah. What would I say to younger Patrick growing up? Because I was out there. I wasn't afraid, if that makes sense. I put myself out there. I'll probably say be a bit more braver. Even though I was brave, I didn't take enough risks as... But then full circle, like for instance, like I said, I wanted to be a baker when I was younger, but being scared to upset my parents, I just went to the route of education and done a computer science degree. So if I had said to my younger self, be steadfast, do what you want to do, be a baker, go to culinary school, would I be here now? Probably not. I might have had a terrible experience and that would have put me off and I'm like, I don't want to be a baker anymore. So maybe I wasn't supposed to do what I wanted to do then, and I'm doing it now, if that makes sense, right? So I would say to my younger self, be a bit more braver in making decisions, and because a lot of times you do get put down by people, and okay, maybe this is the wrong decision. I think so, parents-wise, anyway, not friends. So yeah, I'd have said to my younger self, be a bit more stronger in your belief and stick to it. Fast forward now, though. I'm here. What would I say to my future self? Keep knocking on them doors, man. Don't be afraid of anything. Be like, I'm not afraid of anybody, bro. Because as a business owner now, you know, we're timid sometimes. Like when we start a business, am I doing the right thing? Am I pricing things the right way? I'm a new company. Is my price right? Should I go in lower because nobody knows who I am? No, my price is my price. My quality is A1. So you're paying for that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not afraid to tell you the price. That's the thing where we especially black companies, we're scared like to say this is the price. No, that is the price. I've worked hard at this and you guys can taste the quality. So if I'm saying a cake costs you £300, that's what the cake costs you. And I'm not even taking the mick on that price. I could even go higher than that. Because I see other people do it. Do you know from my future self would be not be afraid of knocking anyone's door down and saying, look, this is what I want to do. The BEO really sort of gave me more confidence that, you know what, I can go to any room with anybody and just talk because that's what I'm good at doing. I can talk about myself. I can talk about my products because I believe in what I do and the proof's in the pudding. People taste it. And that's, as you said, you saw how people reacted. I'm not blowing my own horn. I know what I do because I've worked at it, because I've worked in the likes of Mayfair and I've seen how people get excited about food and I see how they get, maybe this is average. So my goal is not to do average, is to do excellent all the time. And that's the standards I set for myself. So yeah, my future self, I'll say to my future self is Pat or Paddy, wherever they want to call me, just keep going. Knock on them doors. You can chop it up with anybody and you will stand strong, for sure.
Great answer, man. Absolutely great
Now,
answer. Brother, listen, I want you to leave a message. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to go into a quick fire round, but before we do that, right, I want a message that you want to leave to men out there right now that might have gone through a situation that you've gone through and feel that there's no way out. They might have gone through a situation and they're left in they're feeling challenged about it, and they want some answers. What would you advise any man to do right now going through similar scenarios? What advice would you give them?
Again, this is a tough one, but I'd say we all have challenges. Everybody, whether you've made it, whether you're trying to make it, everyone's got a challenge. What that means is there's always a solution. I don't believe that there's no way in life that you can be successful if you don't apply yourself. The only person that stops you from being successful is you, hands down. We know there's restraints. We know the discrimination we have as a people. But guess what? We can still knock on doors. We can still break down these barriers if you believe you can do it. That's the reality of it. Remember I said earlier about the circle of influence? Your mindset will get you as far as you want to go in life. But forget the negativity. Energy is important for me. Focus as well. Another word I will give you is just stay focused. We have so many distractions in this world, whether it be social media. Yes, I know we need social media for business, whatnot. But then a lot of times we're just on it, just clicking and clicking and liking and liking. That's a waste of your time. Listen to the outside noise. Sometimes just get that tunnel vision, focus on what you want to achieve, work in your own state, your mental state, because trust me, you're going to get knocked down. All of us get knocked down. We all get beat up verbally, physically, mentally. But if you have your mind secured, fortified, anything you go through in life, you'll be all right. You'll be fine. It's the famous saying, how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get up. We know that. And it's real. Because we're always going to get knocked down. I still get knocked down all the time. But it is what it is. Build tough skin. Like sticks and stones may break your bones, as they say, right? But words can't do anything for you. So people tell you, you're not good at something. Okay, that's your opinion. So I mean, that's your opinion. What do you think of yourself? So I'm coming from. Like, it doesn't matter what people think about you. Like, if you believe in you, trust me, you can go far. So anyone out there struggling that you're thinking you can't be something, you're already something. Do you know what I mean? You're already something. We're here. Like, what's your purpose? What's your end goal? What's the point? I believe I need to make a mark on this world, not just through cake, because there's more to me. There's more layers to me, as you said earlier, than my cake.
Absolutely.
There's more for me to give, whether it be speaking, whether it be talking to kids. My brother works in schools with kids, so he's always told me to come down and do that speaking. I'm actually doing a speech in a school in Tottenham very soon, right? So it's like, listen, only you can stop you. My wife says, how are you always so positive? Because we've been through madness. Even with my wife's health, with, black women suffer from fibroids. We had issues with fibroids at some point. And bro, I'll tell you another mad story. This is what I'm saying. Your mindset is key, guys. Your mindset in anything you do. We had an issue. My wife had a fibroid problem before we had our son. It was the size of a tennis ball. Yeah, that's how big this damn thing was. This is during COVID times. So I take her to hospital. We were living in South London at the time. I took her down to Harley Street to see a private somebody. They said, you need to take her down to UCLH right now, which is around the corner, because this is a big problem. So I take her to UCLH. Again, I'm not letting the hospital. I'm sitting outside waiting for people to call me. I get a consultant calling my phone saying, yeah, this is a big thing. We have to take her womb out. And I'm like, you have to do what? Do you know what I mean? Wow. What are you talking about? Like, because to save my life, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even scream. I didn't even panic. I just said, that's not the only option. Come back to me with a better option. I didn't panic at all. I cut the phone off on him. I called my cousin as a doctor. I said, Linda, this is what this guy's telling me. She goes, nah, that's definitely, there's more to it. There has to be a second option. I said, okay, cool. You've confirmed what I'm saying. If I'm panicking, if my mindset is, oh my gosh, I'm listening to this thing, I'm getting stressed out. Doctors know everything. Bro, we wouldn't have 2 kids by now. I'd have said, okay, cool, you have my consent. Half an hour later, they call me back and goes, oh, we found another solution. What we're going to do is give an injection or tablet that's going to shrink the fibroids. And then when it's shrunk, we're going to do keyhole surgery to take it out. So I said, why wasn't that your first option then, mate? Why was the first thing you're telling me is that you're going to destroy my wife's life and tell her she can't have kids? Doesn't make sense, you know? And that's the fortified level I'm telling people, create that strength that, the first no is not the option. If someone says no to you, fine. Okay, cool. I'll keep knocking on that door. There has to be a yes. There will be a yes. So I say that, all of that to say this. Don't get knocked back if you get no. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you're closer. As we say, you're closer to the next yes. By you getting that no, you're closer to the next yes. So if you believe in what you do, belief is key. Believe in what you do. Get your mindset right. Don't be afraid of the no. You'll be fine, and just work hard and be passionate about what you do. If you have no passion as well, forget about it. If I didn't have passion for what I do you think I'd be going to the bakery at 1 a.m? Of course not. I'd rather stay home with my kids and my wife and chill out and just do nothing. But I love what I do. That's the passion in me to create and do what I do. So I'm always going to be up, always going to be hungry, keep pushing and keep striving, So yeah, get your mind right. Don't be afraid of a no. So you're closer to a yes after that.
My goodness me. People, this is Paddy. I'm going to call you Paddy Cakes, man, because this is you, brother. Paddy Cakes, man.
In the cheesecakes,
yeah,
bro.
there it is, man. There it is, man. Paddy Cakes, man. Paddy, that was absolutely awesome, brother. Awesome, awesome, man. What a way to kind of round things up. I just want to end on this, all right? I'll call this a quick fire round, all right? We'll just have a little bit of fun before we finish, because I know you got to leave and get to do some more, create some more artistry, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a quick nap, man.
Get a quick nap and now leave about 1:30.
Okay, man. Cool, man. Quick fire question. Male bakers or female bakers? Who's better?
Depends. Totally depends. I'll tell you why. Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof? You've had the battle, right? Where you from, by the way? Where you from, by the way?
I'm from Jamaica. My friend's from Jamaica.
From Jamaica. But you've heard Ghanaian jollof, Nigerian jollof. You know what my response is to that? It's down to the chef, man. Doesn't matter where you're from.
Okay. All right.
Because I've had terrible Ghanaian jollof and I've had terrible Nigerian jollof. On the same token, I've had incredible Nigerian jollof from my mum, the best chef I know. I've had incredible Ghanaian jollof. So it depends about who is preparing it. So the answer about male baker or female baker all depends on what they're baking and how driven they are to be successful. So I choose both.
Okay, good answer, man.
Yeah.
All right, tea or coffee? Tea. Films or books?
Films.
Favorite film?
Gladiator.
I knew there was something about you, man. That's mine as well. That's one of mine as well.
I'll literally watch that every Christmas. My wife is so bored of it. Every Christmas, Gladiators is on, bro.
Brother, you and me both, man. You and me both, man. All right. Okay. This one might be quite obvious for you, actually. Okay. Night person or day person?
Night person.
Yeah. I knew that he was going to say that. 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It's peaceful.
All right.
It's quiet.
Football. It absolutely. There's a. It's like it's quite serene, isn't it? There's a serenity about it. Okay. Football or cricket?
Football.
Arsenal or Tottenham?
None of them. I'm a Manchester United fan. I can't even talk about football at the minute. So yeah,
let's keep that one quiet, man. Let's keep that one quiet, brother.
Yeah, we'll keep that one quiet.
Listen, man, that was just a little bit of fun just to break it all up, man. You've been a real inspiration.
I appreciate you.
Your words of wisdom have gone far and are gonna go far, because I believe people listening to what you're saying will be able to take something from it and use it for themselves. Your business, I feel that you're about to go into a real momentum where you're going to start to excel even more so than what you are right now, because of your passion, your drive, your commitment to the cause, and you just wanting to be the best in the field. And I've seen what you do. It's amazing. So congratulations to you and your wonderful wife as well, brother.
Thank you, brother.
And just how can people get in contact with you?
Website, www.paddycakes.uk. Instagram also paddycakes.uk. You can send us an email. You can best send us an email as opposed to Instagram messages, because it's one of those I don't check all the time. But yeah, paddycakes.uk, not .co.uk, just .uk. That's the website, and Instagram is also paddycakes.uk. You can see what we do, pictures. Yeah, or just come into the bakery. You want to come and get in touch with me, come and see me on a Saturday and Sunday if you're in Tufnell Park. That's where we are, NW5. Great food, great energy, and great vibes. People love the space. We've created a home away from home. People keep telling us when they come into the bakery, and we're Switzerland. I don't choose any sides, so we can have a great conversation when you come to the Paddy Cakes shop.
Brilliant, man. Brother, I really appreciate your time. This has been Man Talk, Real Talk with Paddy. I'm going to just call you Paddy Cakes from now, man, because people need to know who you are in that way, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, and listen, I'd love to come up and see you at the shop. I'll bring my wife. I'm sure she'll. Do you do dairy-free?
Yeah, I do vegan donuts, which will blow her mind. It's better than a Krispy Kreme, and there's no dairy whatsoever in it. I actually put a bit of Ray Nephew in there. Jamaicans love Ray Nephew. So there's a hint of Ray Nephew in that too, bro. So, yeah, it's a dangerous donut. It's a great donut. And there's no dairy inside, so she'll love that.
You can't have Ray and his nephew in a donut, brother. That's lethal. That's a lethal combination, man.
Don't worry, you won't get drunk off it. You just enjoy it. That's the whole point. Just enjoy it. You know what I mean? I feel good.
She'll love it, man. She'll love it. She'll love it. Sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Patrick Onyido, Paddy Cakes himself. This has been a great conversation that really does matter, because we've taken a lot from what you said, and I look forward to having you on, at a later stage, and you can tell us progress about where you've gone.
Where we are. For sure, man. I love to. Appreciate your time. Thanks for having me, guys, and I hope what I've said helps anybody, because that's what life is all about, helping each other grow. Yeah?
Absolutely, man.
God bless.
Absolutely. Brilliant, Paddy, man. In order for this platform to grow, we really, really need you. We want to inspire positive change, and the only way we're going to do that is by spreading the word, and we need your help. We need your help to spread this message about Man Talk, Real Talk to as many people as possible around the UK, around the world, wherever you're listening in from. Remember to click, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and whatever platform you're listening in on, leave some comments. And if you want to know more about what we do with Mastermind Academy and what I do as a coach, mentor, trainer, then please log on to the website, www.mastermindacademy.co.uk. You can also send me an email at des@mastermindacademy.co.uk. If you want to find out more about me and what I do, go to Des Morant Official on Instagram and on TikTok, and also on LinkedIn. You can find me at Des Morant. And if you want one-on-one coaching, just DM me or email me at des@mastermindacademy.co.uk.